So I wanted to give my thoughts on these WWE layoffs that just happened. So I see a lot of people that are just really hammering WWE over this. And let me get this straight. I'm no fan of WWE. But like just saying like, oh my God, what a disheartening move by WWE. This is terrible. This is awful, whatever. And I'm really looking at this from a business perspective. So, you know, with this happening, every company pretty much is losing money, and a lot of people are getting furloughed or laid off or whatever the fuck. So, I mean, it's kind of understandable that WWE would do something like this, and people are really saying things like, oh, they shouldn't have done this, you know, but like people aren't. This is why the average person isn't a CEO. Like, you don't have the authority to tell WWE that you shouldn't have done this when you don't know their financial situation. You don't know what contracts these people were under. You don't know details like what the shareholders were saying, what the board of directors, you know, you don't know these little details. So for people to say, oh, WWE shouldn't have done this, you don't know anything. You idiot. You don't know how to run a fucking $1 billion plus company, a multi-billion dollar company that's publicly traded, you idiots. You know, so for people to say this, like, they're just being idiots. So why aren't you running a company then, if you think you're smart enough to know what WWE should have done? I mean, is it sad? Yeah, but like, these are fucking sad times. If you want to blame somebody, blame the fucking politicians that have basically shut our fucking country down over a fucking virus that's killed, what, 30,000, 40,000 people? I mean, think about how many people are killed by other things. Car accidents, the flu, heart disease, cancer, suicide, drug overdoses. But we don't close down the country for those things, do we? No, we don't. Even though there's risks in life, we keep living our lives. We don't live our lives in a fucking prison cell. I mean, we should just live our lives in a fucking closed off quarantine prison cell, if that's the fuck. And then no bad things would happen, but our fucking economy would fucking hit the tank like it's doing right now. So if you want to blame anybody, blame the fucking politicians that have fucking shut down our country for who God knows how long. So for people to say this, they're just being idiots. They're being more, you know, it's like you don't know how to run a company. You don't run a company off fucking compassion and giving away money. That's not how you run a company. I mean, I'm sorry, folks. It's not. And to say, oh, well, they're a big company. They're a big company, you know, it doesn't matter. It does matter. It matters what the shareholder, if the shareholders aren't seeing, if the investors aren't seeing returns on their investments, they're not going to invest any money. And big companies go out of business all the time. Look at fucking JCPenney. Look at fucking Sears. Look at all these big companies that have gone out of business in the last 5 or 10 years. Look at retail stores that have gone out of business. And WWE's not doing that great over the last 5 or 10 years. I mean, yeah, the network and the TV deals, yeah, but a big concern is the viewership's down, the ratings are down. So you factor in all that. Big companies have, you know, pretty small profit margins based upon how much money they bring in. I mean, some of these companies, even Amazon has a small profit revenue, has a small profit margin over, you know, if you look at the amount of money they make on gross sales. So for all these people, oh yeah, all these big companies can afford to pay their workers $15 an hour. It'd be no big deal. Actually, it would be a big deal. It's not like these companies have fucking money pouring out of their fucking asses. I mean, I guess in some cases, yeah, but, you know, again, these profit margins are small, and then when you factor in a fucking pandemic, which has pretty much shut down the entire economy, yeah, it is a big deal. And then I saw one person say, well, if WWE didn't give out their dividend, then they could afford to keep these wrestlers. That's not how it works, you moron. A dividend is given out to entice people to invest in the company. So the goal of a dividend is not just to give out fucking free money to investors stupidly. It's to entice people to invest in the company. So if WWE said no more dividend, then people would probably not invest as much money in the company. They wouldn't have as many investors. You fucking idiots. Again, so here's your common Joe Schmo off the street trying to tell a fucking big company how to run. That's not how it works. I don't like WWE. They've done a lot of stupid things. But Vince McMahon is a pretty good businessman, right? I mean, he's made WWE into a multi-billion-dollar company. So you got to give him credit there. So to tell him how to run his company is fucking stupid. You guys, fucking people like David Alvarez or Wade Keller or all these fucking, people off the street are not businessmen. You don't know how to run a company. And obviously Vince McMahon has made some pretty good business decisions if he's remained in business for this long, for decades upon decades. So if you guys are so smart, why don't you just create your own business, your own wrestling company, and turn it into a billion-dollar empire? If you guys know everything, you know what to do. So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on that.